What is good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason, and we are back here for another one. As we dressed in all black today around me. I know that some of y'all are gonna come up here. I've already got it filling up backstage. I know some of y'all are gonna come up here and just probably go off the rail. That's fine. Do whatever you got to do. Just don't say stupid. Like, I don't want to hear dumb things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna be irrational with rational points. Do you understand what I'm saying? Kind of. You want to be like that? Knock yourself out. Okay. Listen, here's my thing. I don't like sitting here and blaming referees, but I can sit here and call, I can point back to 3 calls that really cost this team. You got that extra 4 points we left on the field with Tyreek. You got multiple 2 DPIs. The interception was a DPI on Mostert. It wasn't called. But even before that, the DPI on Cedric Wilson, right? You got a chance there to tie the game and 24-17, and it's a different ball game. Instead, we didn't get the DPI. They took it and made it a 14-point game. The rest is history. So, I'm never one. People have been watching me for 4 years. I don't sit up here and I blame the referees. I'm one of those people where if you're sitting here and saying, oh, if we made this play, or oh, if we got this call, it would go our right way. It would go our way. I always say, okay, then you didn't make enough plays. But when I can sit here and I can name like 4, 5, 6 different calls, that's where I'm a little unreal here. And you know, the fact they got 0 penalties, but we had 10. You're telling me the Philadelphia Eagles, we don't got to talk about the city they're from. You're talking about all of a sudden they're the cleanest team in the NFL. Let's stop this right now. I saw so many times with AVG. We can get away from the DPIs. How many times I see AVG or Jalen Phillips getting straight held? So listen, you know, did our offense do enough tonight? No, our run game did not do enough. But also, listen, I've always reluctant to call McDaniel the best play caller in the NFL. I've said, hey, he's one of the, especially when he gets in that rhythm. But why is Ahmed in here in the second half when he gave you nothing in the first half and Jeff Wilson's ready to go? Jeff Wilson's fully healthy. He's ready to go. He's a better runner than Ahmed. He's a better proven professional than Ahmed. And we're rolling with Ahmed out here. Are we serious right now? On multiple plays, we're even throwing the football to him. On top of this, Eichenberg, 2 bad snaps in a row. You throw the timing off of one play with a bad snap, then you turn around, and the very next snap, you snap it to the turf, and Tua is able to pick it up. Waddle misses time. Wynn gets hurt. Long and Holland run into each other. It felt like everything that could go wrong, minus Uno getting hurt, went wrong for the Dolphins tonight. That's what it legitimately feels like. We were asked to be one of the best defensive fronts with Liam Eichenberg, Lester Cotton, and Kendall Lamb. And it didn't work out. And it wasn't there. We got Tyreek dropping footballs that he normally takes to the house. It goes back to what I said. I'll say it again. I'll repeat it. What I said after the Buffalo loss. And if y'all haven't learned by now, learn now. This is why you got to win as many games as you can. We need home field advantage. You need to get that first playoff win and learn how to win in the playoffs at home. Because traveling on the road with this team, it's a coin flip. Okay? That's just what it is right now. People seem to forget now that we're in, and they want to use hindsight. In week 1, the Chargers were coming off a season with the number 7 pass defense. Khalil Mack was healthy. Derwin James was healthy. Joey Bosa was healthy. J.C. Jackson was back. Herbert was an MVP favorite again preseason. They were a playoff favorite preseason. But now that a lot of you want to use hindsight, they're not a good team. But heading into that game, the hype was real because there's over 1,200 of y'all in the postgame show when we won. So this team can win on the road in a statement game. All of y'all agree that opening game was a statement game. But now y'all want to be revisionists and say because how the Chargers have looked since then, now it's not a statement game. You can't revise history with me. You can't hustler with me. I'm sorry. So, it is what it is. So let's start. You know what? I'm going to bring up one person first. I'm going to bring me and him up, and then I'm going to bring all of y'all up because I see y'all flooding the backstage. Don't worry. I'm going to get to y'all in literally a few minutes. I'm going to give this man 2 minutes by himself up here with me. Okay. Mr. Ballgame.
Yo.
Give me after what happened today from a defensive. Because, you got that great interception, the pick 6 by Jerome Baker, and then the very next drive, instead of following it up with another solid defensive effort, poor fundamentals, poor open space angles, poor tackling, and it drove the ball right down our throat right after that and answered it. But it just felt like nothing went right, and when something did go right,
Mm-hmm.
It went right back to not going right. You know what I mean? Whether it was,
Yeah.
Jake Bailey and his punt after, anyways, what were you thinking about today? There's so many things to talk about, but what are your takeaways and how are you feeling after today? Because ball game, if we win in Frankfurt, and I don't want to hear it can't happen because anything can happen on any given Sunday. All these people are going to be salivating and gushing over this team all over again because it's the former Super Bowl champs. So we got to put that into perspective. But how are you
Mm-hmm.
feeling about this loss tonight in prime time?
I I'm to be honest with you, man. It doesn't really bother me as much now as I sit back and think about what the team was up against. I know we were undermanned in regards to our best players, potentially at the some of the most key positions on the team weren't even available for us, and the fact that we was able to walk out of this game after facing such a dominant defensive front and Tua is still healthy, that's a plus for me moving forward. I think when you take into consideration the egregious amount of penalties that we had, as opposed to the Eagles having none, that needs to be
Yeah.
looked at. Of course, it's not an excuse, but there's no such thing as perfect football, and I could count in the first half. I saw four offensive false starts and the touchdown that was called back that Tyreek caught on the Lester Cotton
Yeah.
hold was the exact same type of hold that David Long was hit with by Lane Johnson. So they called it on us. They didn't call it on them. Those type of things, three other games today too. To be honest with you, were messed with
Well,
in
can I
regards
be
to
honest with you, bro?
officiating. So,
I know a lot of money was coming in on the Dolphins, and this is just me after the whole NBA thing. I know a
hmm
lot of money was coming in on the Dolphins, brother, and there was a lot of money to be made going against the Dolphins, even though we were underdogs by the spread, because a lot of money in Vegas was coming in on. I don't know, bro. It's kind of crazy to me. I don't get it, dude. I've never seen one team. If you're gonna like that's clearly putting it into the pocket for one team and bringing it up for the other. I mean, even that timeout, we called a timeout and they threw a flag.
they threw a flag.
I was
Yeah,
like, this is just natural for them. Let's bring some other people up here with
they,
this ball game. But as I do, keep going. The
they
floor
just
is
gotta
yours.
yeah, they just gotta win, man. I think you hit the nail on the head, man. You gotta pack away as many wins as possible to ensure that you get some get at least a home field playoff game. And then in the interim, just we said from the beginning that the health of this team was going to be one of the things that was going to possibly be the reason why we didn't achieve the success we want. But we're hurt and dinged up at key positions. Um, so I don't know how you get past that other than just put your head down and just keep grinding through it. I know that the competition committee sometime next year is going to be looking at that Philly scrum that they got going on for those
Yeah,
for those
that's gonna
first
get taken
downs.
out.
That thing's
That's
definitely
taken
going
out.
to get.
Yeah, that's
Um,
gone.
but aside from that, man, I think the guys got punched in the face early. They rallied back. They stood their ground and didn't take too many more punches till
Yeah.
late in the
Well,
game.
think of how
It's
many
just
times we
tough,
would have got
man.
him
When
on
you
the field ball game. I mean, they were 4 for 12 at the end of the game on third down, but they were actually 4 for 11 when it mattered.
when it
And
mattered,
so,
right?
okay, so 7 of those third downs they didn't convert. They were 4 for 4 on fourth down. So they
Right.
converted like almost 60% of those third downs, if you actually think about it, that they missed out on. So if
Yeah.
you're gonna convert that, man, like that's gonna be hard to make up for. I mean, I don't know what else to say, and
There's really
there's
nothing
just
you can
no
do about that
stopping
from
it.
a Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it from a defensive standpoint. I think they did a fairly decent job of putting them in situations where they had to make the third downs um, shorter so they could get to that fourth down position to be able to make that play. It's a gimmick like most teams have a gimmick, but I think overall, man, when I look back over it, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch the game again with less emotion involved. We didn't help ourselves. Christian had a couple offside penalties. I don't fault players for trying to make plays, but at the same time, you got to be aware of the circumstances. And when the penalties are this lopsided, you got to be
Yeah,
clean across the board on everything and not have anything that you do take away from what you're trying to accomplish. I told you the tenacity of the front four is,
mm.
is, is coming around.
That roughing the
They're
passer
being
call. Like, what are we
it's
talking about with
bogus,
this? Like,
bogus. Yeah, a lot of this, yeah,
like,
stuff like that, man. Like you know, when even when the games are reviewed later this week by the committee, they'll look at this and have to probably put out some statement to the Dolphins
Bro, I
explaining
want
like,
them all.
yeah,
I want them if they're not fired. I want them all to be sent for eye
but
exams, and I
yeah,
want you to step your optical coverage game up because it's clearly not good enough right now.
you got Lester Cotton on the field with his helmet pushed off, so that was a clear hands to the
Bro,
face penalty by the defensive end, but that defender.
That's what I
You got
said.
Cedric Wilson's face mask getting grabbed on the play. He couldn't
and that was
make
right
it
in front of this
right in front of it.
overweight
Yeah.
65-year-old, not even 70 maybe. Guy looks like he's more focused about the donuts that are waiting for him at halftime than making calls. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, it's hard
Dolphin,
to get.
let's
Go
keep
ahead.
it rolling here. Fin down under, you're up. Let's hear your thoughts, man. Guessing you're from
G'day, boys.
Australia.
Long time listener, first time caller.
Yeah.
I'm not stressing. I thought the game was. It is what it is. We had our outs. We had our chances too, but you know, I just thought. I'm not stressing. We got guys coming back over the next month, pivotal players.
Yeah.
You know, we win next week at home, and we beat the Chiefs in Germany. We're sitting number one in the conference.
Yeah.
I just think Philly, the NFL needed Philly to win this, to be honest with you. And I'm on the other side of the world, and I could see that. The ref was blatantly one-sided, clearly on the clean sheet of the Philly. But you know, we did all right with who we had out there. I thought we contested. I thought we competed. It would have been nice to get the offense going a bit more of the run game on review reason. Ahmed should only see the field in the preseason. He should not see another snap in a regular season game. But it's one little hiccup along the road for me. And you know, with who we got coming back in, I think we're in prime position to still make a statement.
Yeah. I agree. Let's hear Zay, you're up, buddy. What's on your thoughts? What's on your mind, sorry?
Yeah. So overall, man, I'm not worried. From the defense perspective, I thought they played the best game they could have played. Not mad at defense at all. Fine. From the offense perspective, if we had our guys up front, I think that game goes different. One, with McDaniel, I think he needs to learn to call the game flow better with what's happening. This was a game we should have abandoned the run. A reason when you do your Tua Tuesdays, you're going to see Tua was out there throwing dimes in the first half. We should have abandoned the run. We should have just let Tua throw it all over the yard. That's what we should have been doing.
Yeah.
From the get go. But unfortunately, our two best players made mistakes in the fourth quarter. Hill dropped the ball. Tua with the INT, which was PI, but
it's at least a hold. It's at least a hold.
It's something. You know it was something because his defender wasn't looking and he was tackling him.
Yeah, it's 52, right? He had his back to him and he hooked his arm and helped him turn, basically.
Yeah, it was something.
It's at least a hold, man, because Mostert could have at least tried to come back and make a play. The ball wasn't out of reach and he couldn't even come back and make a play on the football. Or the defender, right? Like
They should have threw something, but they didn't. They spotted them 17 points. They gave them all the momentum. That's fine. All things considered, I think we played a full strength. We bust their fucking ass. I'm not worried about it. Just Dolphins fans, be ready. We're going to hear it all week. Don't worry. Once we get back full strength, it's over.
Honestly, man. Listen, I updated this for the Patreon. I heard this for the channel members. Maybe it's going to be rushed because it's tonight. I don't know. But the return date I've heard for Jalen Ramsey is the Chiefs game. So, you know, with him, if he's going to be back and if Xavier Howard's going to be back for that Chiefs game, that's what it looks like they're actually eyeing. They think they can beat the New England Patriots. I think they could have split this at worst, these two games.
Do you think
be a little bit more full
Do you think
strength.
they held back Williams and Howard knowing that the Bills lost and he's still a game clear? Regardless of the situation?
Yeah. Well, I knew yesterday, Connor, what I put up for Patreon members and channel members. I knew two things yesterday. I knew Chase Claypool was going to be active today, and I knew Connor Williams wasn't playing last night. So that was before the Bills even lost today. I knew he wasn't playing. So, Red Horse, let's hear your thoughts, and then we'll start rotating some guys in.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Yeah, go ahead.
My view on it is it's hard to beat two teams that are on the field that are against you. I'm like you. I don't cry about the refs, but that was like unbelievably blind. They should all be in the tent getting reviewed, testing done. They absolutely you need to know whatever this roster was, because if we come up against this crew in the playoffs, oh no, that can't happen. They were way too biased. There were way too many holds. Twitter is full of David Long, Jalen Phillips, everybody getting choked around the neck coming around the bend.
Yeah,
And
it's
that's
ridiculous.
conveniently not seen. Oh, it was horrible. And then late in the game where Tyreek is going on a pass, the guy's hanging on his jersey. Chris Collinsworth in slow-mo conveniently says it's tight coverage and doesn't say a word about the front of his jersey getting
Talk about the
pulled.
pass over the middle of the field, right?
Yeah. It's just, I can
The one where
it.
Tyreek went like this after the play, right? He got up and
Exactly.
went
He
like that.
immediately looked for the flag.
Yeah. He was held.
And that's the part that gets me, I'm okay with taking an L. That happens,
So am I. Yeah.
I can totally
Especially
accept
with all
an
the
L.
injuries and everything that was working against us already. We didn't need the zebras to work against us,
Exactly. It just makes it that much more frustrating. But on the other side, I'd just like to say this. They knew that they were up they were going to be light on the line and that kind of thing. The only thing I'd like to see McDaniel have done, which he started to do a little bit more in the second half, go side to side, make those big guys run, let them get their hands on their hips, break them down with the speed. Use your assets against their own pursuit. They've done it to so many teams leading into this game, but for some reason they wanted to go between the tackles with the run game and kind of you were feeding into exactly what they like you to do. So that's my only criticism on it. I'd like to see more stuff going sideline to sideline and making people run, because that's where you burn them out.
Agreed. Jan, what's on your mind, buddy?
Hey, yeah, thanks for the space, man. So the loss definitely stings. I ain't gonna lie. There was a lot of penalties on both sides of the football, and unfortunately, non-calls for us. The offensive line had issues, obviously due to key injuries that definitely affected our play. I feel like we don't have an outlet for Tua when under heavy pressure, like a 50-50 pass catcher. I think that could come in, and help us out, especially when he has to throw it out there in the end zone, like that Mostert attempt. Probably having a bigger receiver out there could help. We had a lack of a run game, which is obvious. On the defensive side, although it may have been one of our better defensive performances, thus far, we're not there yet with pressuring the quarterback consistently and getting home with the pressure when it's created. And obviously, there were also key injuries on defense as well. Just to close up, 5-2 is not bad. I'm just hoping that we can hone in on the last 3 games or the next 3 games that we have, actually. Hopefully, we can take care of that Chiefs game so we can gain more confidence for our overall success, for the remainder of the season. So that's what I have to say.
Yeah, I think that was a big missed opportunity to start taking a vice grip hold of that AFC East tonight. Go ahead, Ballgame.
So we do have a big threat now. They do just getting acclimated to the playbook. So I think, outside of what Chase Claypool did in the run game, as far as blocking,
he was blocking. He was doing some good stuff on the blocking.
It really did. They'll start incorporating him in some of the vertical downfield stuff as well. That's a really big body with them. He ran a 4.42 for a guy that big at 6'3", 240 some odd pounds. So Michael figure out a way to use him to get him into the passing game. So it's just a matter of time. It's only even week. What is it? It's just week 7.
Week 7.
5 got plenty of time to dial. Yeah, we're not even. I don't even think he's even dialed in. Maybe a third of the playbook installed for this season. So we just got to hold on.
Yeah, because he is a common injury. Yeah, the common injury hurt what he wants to do, right?
Because he was huge. Yeah, his comment was going to be huge for us. So getting Claypool and getting him up to speed is going to be probably priority 1 for them now at this point. And we'll see what happens, man. 5-2.
Nick, go ahead, Ballgame. Go ahead, Ballgame, and then Nick, you're up.
An NFC loss doesn't hurt us nearly as bad as if it had been an AFC
No, exactly.
team, so
well, that's what I said heading into this game. I said the game, listen, we can all paint this and dress it up to be whatever we want. This is a measuring stick game, nothing more. The game that matters is week 9 and even next week, because it's actually like, AFC. But anyways,
in Division 1.
Yeah, there's playoff implications and potential seeding in that Chiefs game. Like that matters, especially if we win this week and we head into that 6-2. Then that game that game really matters. You know what I mean? So Nick, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on. As you can see from my face, my blood was boiling from these refs. I will say this: that was probably the most heated I've been since the fumble gate, where Roethlisberger fumbled and they couldn't say who recovered the ball. That had me heated as well. But anyway, I want to look at the positives because there weren't many from the Bills, but I think there were a lot of positives in this game. I thought we were very stout defensively up front. I thought we got really good pressure on probably the best offensive line in the NFL. So I take that as a big positive. I think one of the biggest things that hurt us was when David Long went down. You can see he's really starting to flourish in this defense. He was all over the place tonight. And so I really think there's a lot of positives. Obviously, we were down 3 offensive linemen. Tua's under duress the whole game, and yet I still think he was dealing outside of that one play where he threw the interception, which what other people said should have been DPI anyway, or holding, whatever you want to call. So I'm looking at the positives. Like you said, I think the Chiefs game is more meaningful by a big stretch. And I think that if we can play that kind of defense, I thought we kept Hurts in check. And if we can get that pass rush and keep Mahomes off of his feet and running, I think we can really I think we can surprise the Chiefs, but we got to get past the Patriots first. But I'm looking at the positives, and I think there are a lot to take from the night.
Like, I think, this team, the team that started this game, not the team that finished the game. So let me be clear about that in terms of injury wise. I think that team could have beat the Patriots. So I get making sure Connor's good to go, and I get making sure X is good to go when we need them for that match with the Chiefs. This has always been the play, it seems. So listen, let's just make sure we go in there 6-2 and not 5-3, because this thing could start to fall away from you real quick if you lose this 3-game stretch. I mean, even I said this 3-game stretch is going to tell us a lot about this team. The problem is, how much does it really tell me tonight when I'm looking at 70% of our roster out there, and we're not only playing, we're playing, the Philadelphia Zebras, not the Eagles today. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, I thought Jalen Phillips was really good. I lost my mind on Bradley Chubb when he didn't finish that sack off, and Jalen Hurts got out of that. Man, like, come on, man. Like, bro, it's just finish that. You get paid like almost $20 million to finish that play. Someone said he gets paid to get pressures, brother. When you're getting your hands on the quarterback, you're paid $20 million to finish that. I don't care what anyone has to say. Hooked Up Joe,
I agree.
What's on your mind?
I thought it was a good game compared to what we had for a roster, and I'm fine with it. I mean, we can always. I mean, obviously the refs had an effect, but I'm good with how we performed. And if you want to underestimate us in the future because of how we performed tonight, then that's fine with me. If you picked a game we were going to lose, I'm fine with it. And going into the game, I said, whatever happens, happens. And, Liam's been in the game for 2 games. And out of that, we've got our 8 sacks out of our total sacks. And Tua made it out alive. This was another one of those. If Tua makes it out alive and we look okay, it's a win. And that's what happened. We could have won it.
Yep. Gotta look at the positives.
Shout out to Ghost Without Him Gaze, because he literally just posted like 4 blatant penalties, and he said, "What if I told you none of these were penalties on the Eagles, and they ended the night with 0 calls?"
Yeah, I saw 4 false start penalties myself.
Yeah,
the chokehold on Long, same thing they called against
and AVG.
Yeah.
Remember that I saw AVG come off and just right across and just like grabbing, and they did the same thing to Phillips, like literally a few days later, and they were just getting away with it like constantly. And then you see some replays they didn't even show because he would have showed the penalty. And then there are other replays where you got Collinsworth trying to make an excuse for why it's not a penalty when it's a clearly blatant penalty. I don't get it. Q, what's going on, brother? What's on your mind? How you doing?
I'm out, Reese. I'll holler at you, brother.
All right, take it easy, ball game. Have a good one, brother.
Peace.
Have a good one. Hey, man.
Take it easy,
I'm
brother.
not as bummed as people are about this loss.
Yeah.
You know, man, 14 penalties to 0 bad officiating. How the hell they have 0 penalties? Well, I'm not gonna leave it up to the refs, right? A lot of drop balls, a lot of touchdowns that they took off the board, touchdowns, bonehead interception by Tua.
See, we keep talking about that play, and I'm wondering if Tua knew he was going to draw the PI and threw that. I don't know, because I mean he did draw.
He was kind of throwing that ball to draw a PI, but remember,
I just wish we had that big body 50-50 catcher on that one.
Or draw a PI.
You can't have a big body guy on that because that was coming out of the backfield. That was Raheem Mostert on like a wheel. So that's a running back route. I'm out of the backfield.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So the thing with that interception is that I'm not sure which way to go with that because that's the third interception on third down where Tua was throwing kind of jump balls. He did it in the Chargers game, the interception. The Patriots game was the same thing, and now again. So I'm not sure if on third down he just like, fuck it, let me just get it out there.
Well, look at his history. Even go back to Devontae Parker, right? He gets the call a lot of the time on the jump balls.
Yeah, which he should have got this time.
And he didn't get it. I don't know.
One thing that I do notice is that it was preceded by that low snap where it kind of threw off the previous play. So maybe he just felt forced, like he needed to make something happen, So,
Robert, you're up, buddy.
Dude, So I sit in 2 spots on this. There are good things we saw from the play, but we had a chance to win the game. We had a chance to go and shut up naysayers and doubters. And I really don't want to deal with the next week of hearing people, or it's not even going to be the next week. It's going to be like the next month and a half. You haven't beat anyone. You can't beat anyone. Oh, you beat the Chiefs. That was a fluke. That kind of shit. And it's just going to piss me off and drive me nuts. And I'm going to lose my shit. I don't need to lose my shit. But, there was good things that I saw. We didn't look completely outclassed. Getting some of our guys back is going to be super helpful. But we did look like we came up short. It did look like we made adjustments.
Yeah, literally.
Well,
that was not an optical illusion.
Yeah.
The scoreboard was not lying to you, Robert. We didn't come up short.
You know what I mean, though.
Yes, sir.
Is that a fight that we can win? Yes, I think we can win that fight.
We didn't come up as short as the score shows.
I don't even It's hard
they really could have put more points on the end if we really wanted them. If they really wanted to.
Yeah, that's true.
But we gave them that ball basically. I don't know, man. Listen, here's the thing. I hate even bringing this up as many times as I have all night. But when I can count over a half dozen calls, it's not like 1 or 2, right? We're talking like a half dozen here, on us and them that I can sit here and go, you know what I mean? And it's ball game is giving examples of, David Long getting called for something Lane Johnson didn't get called for. That's where I start to come in. And when the plays affect the drive, the roughing the passer, how many plays later was the touchdown? Right?
One or 2.
And then you look at, the Robert Jones penalty, right? It leaves 4 points. Now that's on us, but that leaves 4 points on the board, right? But then the Cedric, we got the points on the next play, but think of what that would have done for the offense and the defense after sustaining that long of a drive and finishing it off. Not the defense having to come out, make a play, and then go right back on the field. You know what I'm saying? The Mostert, if we would have got at least a hold on the Mostert thing, that continues and sustains a drive. If they would have had some of the false starts or holding calls on them, they're not in as many third and short situations for the tush push, and we're getting them off the field more times. See, that's another thing people aren't going to take into account looking at the vacuum of this game. If you look at it, and this is literally fact, 31 out of the 32 teams at best probably would have been 2 for 4 or 1 for 4 on fourth down against us, and they wouldn't even have had as many attempts because they were getting third and inches on their side of the field where they were just tush pushing it. So, like, we were going up like an anomaly even in that sense, where I said they were 4 for 11 before they didn't convert that third down at the end of the game. They were 4 for 11 when it mattered on third, but they were 4 for 4 on fourth down. So out of those 7 third downs they didn't convert, 4 of them they converted anyways on the next play.
And
so
that's going to be
they really
this
only
entire year,
they
right?
really only didn't convert 3 third downs when you actually think about how they played their third downs.
So reason that shit's going to be illegal this entire year.
Oh yeah, they're going to get rid of that because you literally can't. You see how low we were getting, especially on the last one, bro.
Dude, you were basically crawling,
and you can't unless we can jump off of our own guys or use guys as leverage.
Well, we tried, and that didn't work.
Yeah, but then you can't too, right? Like I'm talking like if you could climb their backs and like use
like
it as
rush meat
leverage.
match.
Yeah, that's the only way. But did you see what they're doing? This is why they're gonna. I'm gonna tell you right now. I saw it tonight of why they're gonna call it illegal. Bro,
when are they
were
call
literally lifting Jalen Hurts
That's exactly
off the
right.
ground and pushing him.
They had to make it illegal.
Yeah, they're going to make it illegal because you're literally lifting the player off the ground
They
and
called
pushing
it the
him.
QB push.
Yeah, that they're going to call that a way of like they're going to say that you're pulling in the opposite direction, basically.
And at the same time, the defense can't push their players to counteract that. So it's a competitive disadvantage.
Yeah, that's done.
You can't grab a player and throw them over the end zone.
And that's
basically what they're doing.
Yeah. It's just holding them up while they go because they got so many bodies to hold the weight up, right, and make it look like that.
Is that a change they'll do in season, or is that just
no? That'll come in the committee meetings in the winter. In the off season with the GM meetings and shit. That's gone. Enjoy it now. That's the thing. You got to literally, when they get into third and inches or fourth, and you got to expect that if they don't convert, you got to beat them on 2 straight downs, and the second down is going to be basically unbeatable.
I just had something real quick to say, Reason. What was I going to say? The dropped pass by Tyreek, where he probably would have
That's a couple this season, not just tonight, but that's a couple this season where he's.
Yeah, what happened on that drive? Did we score any points, or what happened there with that
one? Which one are you talking about? The one where he
did like a slant and he dropped the ball.
Yeah, and he dropped the ball.
No, that was that
Cedric Wilson penalty. That was the end.
Yeah, that was a Cedric Wilson penalty. I think Robert's right. That was a Cedric Wilson penalty,
because
wasn't it?
that could have been 7 points easily. And the other one was that penalty that got negated, the touchdown to Tyreek that got negated by our penalty from Cotton, was it, or what's the name of it?
Isaiah Wynn?
No, the other guy that was filling in. So those are
think of all the things we had to deal with tonight. Think of the injuries we had to deal with tonight. This tush push bullshit. Think of all the stuff we already had to deal with on our side, and then we got to deal with these non-calls, man. These non-calls and these bad calls. It's unbelievable. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. I know someone mentioned it earlier, gentlemen. I'm gonna tell you this right now because Ballgame mentioned it. They review all the officiating. Those guys won't be calling playoff games. I could put your money on that one. Those guys will not be calling a playoff game. You can bet your bottom dollar.
They played like shit.
They won't be calling a playoff game. You can pretty much. I got to go look at that officiating crew, but they're already the jabroni of the week. I can guarantee you they're not going to be calling a no way. There's no way.
0 penalties, bro.
Man, see, I'm different than all y'all. I don't let that fraud bullshit beat me because I look at it this way. I don't let that get to me, and I'll tell you why. People who say it, I think, are dumbasses anyways, and I'll tell you why. We lost a week 7 game against a fucking NFC team. If winning the playoffs, you think we're going to be talking about week fucking 7 right now? Give me a break.
Yeah.
Week 9. Now, if we lose week 9 decisively, and we got some guys coming back like Ramsey and stuff, all right, let's have this conversation of if we're for real or not. But, I'm not worried about it. People got this revisionist history, but I remember over 1,200 people in the chat in the postgame show when we beat the Chargers because everyone expected them to be really good this year and Herbert to be an MVP. Everyone expected that, but now they want to use hindsight, so now they weren't competition. I remember all this stuff, bro. So, we made a statement game to open the season up. The problem is we lost the other statement game to the Bills, And then we lost the third game, which was the measuring stick in prime time against the NFC champions. That's what we lost. To me, if you want to say statement games, we're 1-2 in statement games right now.
Right.
That's how I look at this right now. And the Chiefs, I'll be honest with you, that's the biggest fucking statement game of the all. For all of us who are real fans and have watched Tua's growth, we remember how close we almost got to beating them in their rookie season.
Yeah,
when
that
they
was
were
like 24-20, right? Something like that.
They were a much more stacked offensively Chiefs team because Tyreek was there, and we all remember what he did to Clayton Fledglam. You know what I mean?
Off Tyreek, yeah, I remember that play.
So, I mean, if we can beat them in Frankfurt, I mean, that's.
And
plus, we still have the Ravens, and we still have the
Cowboys.
Even though they're not that much of a well, lately they've been flunking. But anyways, those are two other games that we can use.
The
What'd you say,
Ravens
Joe?
are one, but the Cowboys, I don't view that way.
So. Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Joe?
No, go ahead.
Q, you're up. You're gonna say something next. Sorry, go ahead, buddy.
No, I'm just saying, you know, I know everybody's harping on the offense and then their performance, but I know what I'm going to say is going to be a little controversial considering the game the defense played, but I think it was all Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts could not operate in that pocket. He had like 4 seconds. Don't quote me on that, but from what I was watching, he had 4 seconds to throw the ball. He couldn't read the field. And I think the defense took that opportunity and made some plays on it. And so my question is that really a great game for the defense, or is it like it's an okay game?
I thought it was an up and down game. I mean, the perfect example of what the defense was we get that pick 6 from Jerome Baker, and we tie the game up, and we feel the karma's right back on our side. The football gods are in our favor.
Right.
And then the very next drive, they're missing tackles, back to taking bad angles in open space, and they just drove the ball down our throat. We literally saw a tale of two defenses in like 2 different drives. And we saw it all game. We saw they would have a good drive, then they would just run the ball down. It's like, I mean, I feel like they left a lot of meat on the bone with what they could have done against us with DeAndre Swift if they really wanted to.
Yeah. Because I felt like it was. And
AJ Brown dominated us
behind that line. If you had any other quarterback in that line, behind that line, it would have been a really tough game for the defense.
A blowout.
Yeah, blowout.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts wasn't really that great. I thought AJ Brown was just dominant, and we had no answer for AJ Brown, right? Like it looked like early on, Kohu might be the answer, and then AJ Brown just took over because, I mean, he didn't have many yards in that first quarter, and then all of a sudden he turned it on against us. Especially it felt like in that second half.
We didn't have the roster to stop him, not for the long haul, not for 4 quarters.
Listen, you know what I keep learning, bro? Listen, now that I've seen Diggs and I've seen AJ Brown, 2 different types of receivers, Kohu's just not ready to take on elite guys on the boundary right now. I think he's more geared for being that nickel guy being inside right now. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I agree. Yeah.
When we get X and Ramsey back for the first time in the first game, in like 3 weeks from now, aren't we going to be like the healthiest? If we get Armstead back and we get Ramsey back, and X comes back
A-Chain,
and
they're all
A-Chain
going to come back at the same time.
We're going to be the most healthy team we've been in the entire year. We're going to have that literally the healthiest team going into the end of the year when everybody else is beat up.
And it's going to be trouble
at all, to be honest. I'm glad at first I was like, oh my God, Liam's in the game. I hope Tua makes it out alive. He got sacked 4 times again, but he made it out alive, and I'm the happiest person in the world.
I think for the Chiefs game, realistically, you could have Ramsey, X, and Connor back. And then for the first game back after the break, you have Armstead and Achane back. Now, X could get pushed back to the first game after the break, and so could Connor, because those are groin injuries. But, I mean, the same person who told me yesterday that Claypool would be active today and that Liam Eichenberg would be starting at center has told me that the target date is the Chiefs game for Ramsey. And Ramsey coming back allows you to kind of – you don't really obviously ideally want to against Mahomes, but he kind of allows you the flexibility to throw X to the on the bench if he wants to heal that groin up a little bit more.
He won't have to work as hard if Ramsey's in the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, man, all I know is Tua is healthy, and we are 5-2,
man,
and still leading the division. So,
For real.
I'm over here counting my blessings, man. That's all I know right now.
Reezy, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Barry. Go ahead.
Yeah, man.
How you feeling, bro?
I don't really like saying moral victories, but it is what it is with this team in this game. Like
I don't even think if it's a moral or a victory. We took the L, but it is what it is.
we took the it is what it is because we it's like we're a bipolar team. Every drive we make a stride, and then it's either injuries or the reffing in this game. Is like the only thing I'll say is I'm kind of getting annoyed. Like everybody's ready to play when we play mid teams, but now when it's time to step up, everybody get hurt. But besides that, like I'll say the reffing was terrible. I never seen a game where a team leaves the game with 0 penalties. There was multiple penalties that weren't called. I'll say that, and then we have times where we're just undisciplined. So many flags that we're jumping off sides. Tyreek, I know he got held on one of them, but that slant, you get paid to catch that. That's money every time. That's a touchdown. He's supposed to be doing another backflip in the end zone. That's a touchdown. I think like you got to catch those, Tyreek. And then man, I think that Tua interception, that was a clear DPI. Like Mostert was getting turned around by the linebacker before the ball even came to him. But it is what it is.
Yeah, we didn't get no calls tonight, man. None whatsoever. And the Eagles won the trench battle. I'll give them that much. They won the trench battle overall pretty much tonight.
I'll say this though. David Long came off that jet ready to play today. He was really impressive in the run game, especially.
Yeah, I agree. He was good.
Another thing on that pass where Tua got picked, I think he maybe he was for Waddle because he was opening towards the hash, the upper hash of the touchdown.
I think he sailed the ball a little bit too. I think if he would have threw it to like the back pylon, and I think Waddle would have.
There was pressure coming up the middle though.
I know, but
he was throwing the wheel, boys. He was throwing the wheel to Mostert.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was throwing the wheel to Mostert, and he's trying to put it back. He's trying to put it back shoulder because of how the defender with the leverage was. So he's trying to put it back. So if you turn and adjust, you're in front of the defender and you can make the catch. And you saw Darius Slay was covering Waddle, but was keeping his eyes on the ball. The route concepts were too close together. So Darius Slay was watching the ball in the air and broke on it. That's what happened.
Yeah, it was just an easy pick for Darius Slay.
Especially, and Mostert would have been able, I'm not saying he would have completed it, but where the ball was, it was a little underthrown. But Mostert would have been able to come back and make at least a play where, you know what I'm talking about, the catch where you turn around, dive forward, and you go down right away. That he would have been able to make that kind of catch on it, but he couldn't because he was held and turned. His arm was hooked. If you watch, 52 was running with him and never turned his head to the ball, and then hooked Mosert's arm as Mostert started to turn back to the ball and turned him even quicker. If you go back and watch the play.
And Reason, can I just say one more thing too?
It's at least a hold. It's at minimum. It's
it is.
A holding.
Hey, Reason, can I just drop one more thing too?
Go ahead, bro.
Because I know we're gonna hear like the fraud allegations, but I'm gonna say it again. I said it last week when we won, bro. We were 5-1, now 5-2, without Jalen Ramsey, Tyron Armstead in and out of the lineup, Connor Williams. We were missing a bunch of guys. The media doesn't talk about it, but we haven't beat quote unquote the top dogs, but I wouldn't say the Chargers look ass now, but going into the season, the Chargers were hyped up as a playoff contender.
That's what I said, bro.
Yeah.
So
they were fighting today.
Okay, check this out. Let me set the picture. Remember, okay, Bari. Okay, tonight we had like 500 people in the post game, but I expect that after a loss. When we beat the Chargers, we had over 1,200 people in the post game live. Okay, because remember, heading into the season, Herbert preseason MVP favorite. They were a playoff favorite. They got J.C. Jackson back, Derwin James, Khalil Mack, and Joey Bosa are all healthy. It was the number 7 pass defense last year. That's where they ranked. So they were viewed as okay, and we were on the road in SoFi. Say what you want. That was a statement game.
It was.
Exactly.
if you want to count this, I count this as a measuring stick game. This is like the Chiefs game's a statement game for me. Okay,
Yeah.
this is a measuring stick game. But if you want to count this as a statement game, cool. We're 1-2 in statement games. We got a chance to go 500 against the best out of all the ones we're gonna meet out of those 4.
Right.
We
I'm
get,
with
I
you
think
there.
I'm gonna tell y'all, bro.
all I gotta say is at least thank God it
It's
wasn't an
nothing but a
AFC
circle
game.
jerk if we beat the Chiefs, bro. It's gonna be nothing but a circle jerk if we beat the Chiefs. All the people that are hating right now and blaming this person and just spewing whatever, they'll be right back on the bandwagon because we beat the defending Super Bowl champions.
Yep.
And if you think about it even deeper than this, I'll do you one better. If we would have won this game tonight, let's say all the circumstances went the same way. The injuries, the refs, everything, but we squeak it out. If we would have lost this game tonight, but Ramsey comes back, Connor's back, and let's say just those two. Let's say not X is back. Again, we're assuming Wynn's back. And we lose to the Chiefs? Do you think anyone's going to talk about us beating the Eagles with a lot of our main guys, without a lot of our stars on both sides of the ball in week 7? No, they're going to say you lost to the team that lost to the Super Bowl champs who you just lost to. Then the goalpost would have moved anyways.
It always does.
This game don't matter. Win or lose, people are going to be talking more about the result in the Chiefs game. It's the same thing. I go back to Denver. When we won by 50, I told all of y'all, enjoy it now because none of y'all are going to be talking about this if we lose to Buffalo. And it's the same thing. If we would have won tonight, even if we would have smashed the Eagles, none of y'all would have been talking about it heading into the bye if we lose in Frankfurt, Germany to the Chiefs. And that's really like put some perspective on this shit. I'm just being real here.
Yeah, yes, sir.
I hope we don't lose to the Chiefs, man.
Hey, it is what it is, but tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong right now. I'm not.
I don't disagree.
I know how this whole community works. I know how y'all can be down in the dumps right now, and that's fine. It sucks, bro. I'm gonna go eat some pizza.
I'm not.
I gave up dinner tonight to watch this game, so it sucks. I get that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go eat my pizza. I'm gonna wake up in the morning, God willing. It's good. The sun's gonna be shining. I'm gonna be alive and well. And I realize what the real litmus test is, and it's in 2 weeks against the Chiefs.
Right. I'm just gonna I'm not really anxious about this next coming Sunday to see the Dolphins play again.
Yeah.
That's all, bro.
I'm not stressed about it because once again, bro, we went into this game. I guarantee you, if we had Connor Williams, Teron Armstead, at least Jalen Ramsey, this game does not go like that. And if we have a better officiating, I think we walk out of Philly with a win. We're just not healthy, bro. That's it. Like, and we have to get. And then people like. I want to see what Vic Fangio haters have to say now. Like the defense put up a really good display. It's just that things just didn't roll our way due to circumstances of the rest, and then just dumb penalties by the players. But besides that,
Vic Fangio, look at the box score, Barry. They're going to see we allowed 30 points again. That's all they're going to look at.
Vic Fangio called a really good game. Like he can't.
Well, look at that. Look at the play I give Chubb for that big play to AJ Brown that led to the touchdown. People in my chat were blaming Vic Fangio, and I said, how are you blaming Vic Fangio? He called the right play. Chubb got there. Chubb didn't finish the play. And Perry Nickerson left his coverage. How are you going to blame Fangio for
the only time I've been mad at Fangio this season is
the Eli Apple stuff is getting
the Eli Apple, and then the reluctance to like give Cam Smith a shot.
Yeah, we're dying on this hill, it seems, and it's not.
And then I love Cater. I think he's a dog, but he can't. He's just not there yet. He's just not there yet. This game, you needed a big body corner like Ramsey, who's not gonna get worn out by a big receiver like AJ Brown. Like he'll match his physicality. You needed that, or X, but X wasn't healthy today.
David donates 5, and he says, how bad is Cam Smith? Because Eli Apples plays the game with no passion. I think you got a stubborn coach who is just taking his time. I don't know what to tell you. You got a stubborn coach, man, who sees him as a vet, and he's giving him the reps. After the effort, listen, I would have benched him after he jogged on that Goddard first down where you saw him jogging. I would have benched him in the first quarter.
Oh yeah, in the first quarter. Oh my god.
That angle he took on that screen was fucking atrocious.
What are you saying? He was right over top of the slot. All you got to do is go literally vertical, bro. This guy goes horizontal and widens himself out. Oh, my God. Big Heck. The guy plays like a rookie. There's no way you can convince me Cam Smith's worse than that. Big Heck said it's only a second loss, bro. We still have a second half of the year. It's okay. Just need to step the F up on D and be on point. We're going to get it back next week. I agree, man. We're going to be 6-2. We're going to be popping champagne, laughing, smoking cigars next week. I agree. But hey, I mean, I get where fans are at. They want to see us win, especially primetime when the whole nation's watching, and they waited the whole day. I get where they're at, but
the whole week.
It is what it is, man. Yeah, the whole week. It is what it is, man. But let's go through some final thoughts here. Let's go to we'll start with Dolphin Zay. Go ahead, bro. Final thoughts.
Yeah, man. All in all, I'm still good. The sky's not falling. We're straight. Yeah, we just weren't healthy. And it sucks that in these losses, we're not healthy, but also the opposing team seems to be full of strength. So, Dolphins fans, get ready. We're going to hear it all week. Don't lose it. We're fine. We are fine. Yeah. Tools throwing dimes. All right, we're good.
Real talk. Keep the perspective, everyone. They're saying this now, but if we beat the Chiefs and this team's plenty capable enough of beating the Chiefs, say what you will, they're plenty capable enough of beating the Chiefs. Everyone's going to be singing a different tune. So keep that in perspective and keep this in perspective. We still got to go to 6-2 this week to take care of business. Robert, final thoughts.
I mean, this weekend we saw the Bills choke. We saw the Patriots win. That was great. It wasn't all bad. I just want to stop coming up short in prime time. So we'll get there, but more work to be done.
Eric Storm says once Isaiah Wynn and Waddle got hurt, then Long, it was over. As Holland got hurt too. Up to that point, they were right there with Philly. Hey man, you ain't lying. A lot of blown calls, a lot of injuries to overcome tonight, and it just was too much. Jan, your final thoughts.
Thank you for having me on. A loss is a loss is a loss, just like a win is a win. Yeah, I'm just gonna take it, how it is, and get ready for next week. Fins up, bro.
Shout out to Incognito. Incognito got it on point right here. Yeah, I gotta say this. Only statement games I give a stack of SHIT about is the playoffs. Thank you very much.
Hey, man.
Playoff seeding and playoff implication games and playoff games themselves. I agree with you. Anyway, sorry, Jan.
Oh, no, you're good. No. So basically, we already talked about all the points that, basically determine the outcome of this game, and just get back, get ready for work and get ready for this Sunday. So, fins up, guys. God bless, man.
Joe, you're up, brother. Go ahead.
Okay, I just saw this as almost a sacrifice game when you see everybody they pulled out of it, knowing that this is probably the least important game, and just to see how good we could do, just chop out like with one hand behind your back. How good can you do with one hand behind your back in prime side? Go, right? And actually, I thought we did damn good with one hand tied behind our back. And people can underestimate us all year long, and I don't care. I thought it was a fantastic showing for what we had. And if it weren't for the refs, we might have got it. So like I said from the start, I'm fine with it.
Bari, you're up, brother. Final thoughts.
Hello, you hear?
Yeah, you're up, brother. Final thoughts.
Yeah, man. It is what it is. We move on to New England, back home. We'll handle business. Yeah. Hey, man. This game, there's certain stuff we can control, certain stuff that was out of control. Just move on. And hey, man, I'm kind of happy. Like, the media's gonna start underestimating us. I like it when we get underestimated and we move low key and no one mentions us and we just put our head down to work. So on the next week.
Exactly. Appreciate you boys for coming through. Listen, I'm gonna be live tomorrow. Shout out to all the Patreons, all the channel members. I'm gonna be live tomorrow. Expect me around 5 p.m. We'll recap. We'll talk about all the latest stuff. We'll do our jabronis of the week. It's almost 12:30. It was a rough one in the end there. Hey, they fought until they couldn't fight anymore. The injuries, the bad calls and non-calls, it just became a little too much in the end. The Dolphins, they drop now to 5-2. Go to vibesmiami.com and use code REASON 50% off, by the way. And they'll drop to 5-2. it's over and done with, man. It was a rough one. We waited for it. Dolphins lose. And now we just got to refocus, reset, and get ready for the New England Patriots. And then it's time to go to Germany and take on the defending Super Bowl champs. So until tomorrow, I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. Smash that like button on the way out. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see y'all tomorrow, baby. Fins up. Have a great night, as good as it can be after a loss like that, everyone.